Hello Virgo and welcome to my channel GreenLion Goddess Tarot. Wand Ace has just come out for you. So this is the conception of something new, something that is exciting you, some kind of passion that is coming through, and it is just like boom, it is the beginning, and it feels like it's a new motivation, a new drive that's coming through, which is really nice with this Wand Ace fire energy. So Virgo, this reading is for September the 16th through to the 28th. So moving from Aquarius season into Pisces season. So this is your opposite sign. Pisces is your opposite energy. So which means that often when you're traveling through your opposite sign, it brings up some challenges for you. But the rewards are even better. So if you can find that alignment between that polar energy, the opposite energy, then things can really move forward in a big way. We have Sword 9 Venus Gemini. Speaking of challenges, there's a bit of stress around this about starting something new. So let's see what else is coming through for you, Virgo. So this reading is for Virgo, Sun, Moon and Rising. Always recommend to watch all three of your placements if you know where they are, because it gives you a holistic view, a bigger picture of what's going on for you. And it's a general reading, Virgo. Just take what feels right and leave the rest. And if it does really resonate, there will be an extended reading. The link for that will be in the description box below. I'm also very excited to let you know, Virgo, that I am opening up to doing some personal readings in February and March. So if you're interested in that, the link is also in the description box below. Now, this is what I love. You've got the Fool, Aquarius, Air, Uranus, Scorpio coming in. So the Fool with the Wand Ace would suggest that there is something very, very new coming in here. New inspiration, new goals, new spark of connection coming through. So yes, interesting. I feel the newness of it is actually the thing that is creating the stress. Because there's a lot going on inside your mind. The Sword 9 could also just be a lot of overthinking, a lot of thinking about a person or a situation in particular. So this could be hitting you pretty hard. It could be having a big impact on you, and it's kind of put your mind into overdrive. So it may be somebody that you've met that you're suddenly thinking about, and it's like you can't stop thinking about it, or a new opportunity that it feels exciting. So what I get with this Sword 9 Venus Gemini is sometimes this is, a racing mind. It's waking up in the middle of the night thinking about something. So it just needs to kind of ground down a bit, because you've got a whole heap of air, a whole heap of fire. And yeah, we want to kind of ground a little bit for you, Virgo, just to feel like things are feeling a little bit more stable. Otherwise it feels like, where is this going? Which is not necessarily a bad thing. So let's pull some more cards and fill out this picture for you and see what else is coming through for you, Virgo. So one last little shuffle and then I'm done. Okay. Oh, the Hierophant. Okay. Well, big commitment can be the card of marriage as well, the Hierophant coming in. So interesting. This is a big commitment, so understandable. The Lovers, there is a choice around this. Again, there's a lot of, if you're single, this could be something very exciting and new and big coming in for you. It doesn't have to necessarily be about relationship or romance, but I'm kind of getting a lot of that for some of you. But this is something big that you need to make a choice to step into. 5 of Swords, so there's conflict around this inside your mind, in the element of air, very conflicted about this. But at the base, I think you know exactly what it is that you want and what exactly it is that you need to do. So there is clarity. 10 of Wands, you are letting go of something that's become a burden. Near future, 4 of Cups. Not sure. Still not sure. A little bit hesitant about stepping into this. So, yep. I feel like you're not wanting to rush into it, which is fair enough, although the Fool sometimes does kind of has that energy around it. So you might feel a little bit more impetuous. So we'll see what else is coming through. But I feel like the sensible voice wins and says, no, I need to sit and think about this. Let's see. We've got the Knight of Swords. Okay, maybe Maybe you are being quite impetuous. The Tower, expect the unexpected. I think that was your weekly reading that was coming in last week, actually. 7 of Swords. So there's, again, a lot going on inside your mind, rethinking plans. And the Death card. Wow, big transformation coming in here. And I want to pull one more card to go with that. the moon. Wow. Goodness. And that's the Pisces energy. So that's why we're talking about everything's being thrown at you. Everything's coming like hard and fast at you here, Virgo. And we have at the base the Page of Wands. But out of it, it's kind of like this boom electric energy, like throw everything at Virgo in this kind of quite unexpected way, and then see how you handle it and see what comes out of it. And there's actually some good things coming out of this. It just may not feel like it when you're in the middle of it. So interesting. We have the Hierophant. So crossed by the Lovers. Again, this is potentially, I don't know, like I just got the words arranged marriage. Now, this is not going to be for all of you, but this is a sense of kind of feeling pressured into something, into a commitment or a relationship that you're not quite ready for, something you're not feeling ready. So that's why it kind of feels like it's being arranged for you, whatever this is that's coming through, because it's crossed by the Lovers card, which would suggest that it feels like there's a lack of choice here. It feels like this is all new and unexpected, and you weren't you weren't quite ready for it. So it may not have been something of your choosing, but it's happened and it's here. And if you actually sit and let the dust settle, it's kind of like, well, maybe this is actually something that I could really want. So kind of interesting. I feel like there's a lot of conflict going on inside your mind. We can see here with the Five of Swords here. This is in your conscious mind. It's kind of like, what are you fighting for here? Whose side are you on? And why are you fighting for something? Because you might be one of those things that sometimes you disagree with somebody, even though you really do secretly agree with them, but it's just because the way they approach you, you feel defensive. You feel like you have to defend yourself, and then you think, well, I didn't really believe that, so why did I go into bat for something that I don't really believe or care about? So it just feels like you've kind of thinking about whose side you're on here, what side you're on. Because are you saying, defending something, saying, no, I don't want that to happen, no, this can't happen, when if you actually opened up to it, maybe it is. So there's been some kind of interesting fallout, and I think it's kind of like, working out where you sit with that, which is interesting. But at the base, you've got the Queen of Swords. This is what's happening deep down. Very, very clear. Queen of Swords is a Libra energy, very clear inside your mind here. Could be actually around a Libra, an air sign around you. There's a lot of air around you, but there's Gemini and Aquarius as well. But there's this sense that there is this amazing flash of insight that comes in here about what it is that you really want and what it is that you really want to commit to. And suddenly that shifts everything. It sort of shifts everything, but there is clarity here. You do know inside your mind, you're not scared, there's no fear, but it's like you do know, even though it's going to create conflict and other people may not agree with this, it is a sense that you kind of do know. With that Queen of Swords, it's clarity. So this may be other people resisting this. This may be an internal resistance to it. But very new and unexpected. The Ten of Wands. So this is the recent past. This with the Nine of Swords would suggest there's some kind of stress. Something was draining your energy. Maybe you're overworking too hard with something, or maybe you overcommitted to something. And right next to the card of the commitment, it's it's looking at your commitments in what the things you've agreed to say and to do in your life, Virgo. There's some big shifts and changes around that, and there's an opening to do something new and different here. So it's kind of fascinating. And we have in the near future the Four of Cups. So this is kind of interesting because this is the card of little bit bored, bit restless, feeling a bit dissatisfied. There's something on offer here. I'm not sure if I want to take it up, even though I've seen something very clearly, or I've seen very clearly a dynamic or had some sort of insight, and I know what I want and I know what I want to do. There's a part of me that doesn't know how to step into it. So always not sure about stepping into it. So the longer you stay in your old energy, the more dissatisfied you're going to be getting here. because this new is impossible. This new flash of insight, this new opportunity, this new thing that's conceived here is kind of asking for all your attention, asking for a shift and a change. And if you resist that, you're going to stay in the old energy and it's going to feel like bleh. So it's hard to kind of resist this, really. You're the Knight of Swords. So this is where you might be wanting to head straight into something really quickly. You know, the Queen of Swords is sent. You've listened to your gut and willing to take action here. You got the Queen of Swords in your base energy. Very clear messages. The Knight of Swords does her bidding. You know, it is her night. So it's kind of like you're listening to yourself. It's very conflicted. That's why there's confusing energies. They're looking at old cycles here. Cycles of commitment. And so this is either breaking free of a commitment, which, like I said, it felt like an arranged kind of marriage kind of energy to it. It felt arranged and it wasn't necessarily, it worked for the moment, but it wasn't something you were really passionate about at the end of the day. And then this thing that you are passionate about, this opportunity, this new energy comes through and it's like, I want to step into that and I want to go there really quickly. Like, this is fast. The Fool is fast. The Knight of Swords is the fastest moving energy. It's like you need to act quickly with this. The Tower is quick, fast, boom, boom. The Four of Cups is slow. So it's fast, boom, 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 boom. Everything happens and it's like, just sit here and look at it and think about it. And the universe is going, you need to kind of go for it. So I do feel like there is that energy here with it, the Knight of Swords, which is actually really good. It's kind of this determined energy to come in, and your mind could be on fire here. It could be quite literally moving so quickly that you have to kind of be very, very adaptable to what's going on, because I feel like the landscape is changing so quickly, like plans, ideas, thoughts. You've got to go with this flow here. So there's energy surrounding you got the Tower. So this would suggest something unexpected, even shocking coming in with the Tower energy. But sometimes sudden insights can be a shock, a realization, a revelation that comes through here with this Tower energy. Totally, like I said, unexpected. And it's totally, potentially shaken up a few things that weren't right for you. So that actually feels really good. The Seven of Swords, this is hopes and fears. This is wanting to get away from restrictions, wanting to free yourself. So you're working out a plan here. Whether it's a good plan or not, that's kind of not really, doesn't really matter because it's in your hopes and fears, but I feel like you kind of want a plan. So sometimes it's kind of like if you get pushed too quickly into something without a plan, because this energy has no plan. It's just like, boom, here it is, insight, revelation, boom, let's go. And I think this Four of Cups energy is a little bit like, well, I don't want to step into it without a plan. So, but there's also a part of you that doesn't want to do that and knows you have to act fast. So therefore the conflict that is coming in here. So, but ultimately this is what's so lovely is that the Death card is coming with the Moon card. This is a big outcome that comes through here. This is a big transformation and change that is actually transforming some very negative cycles that you may have had, things that you may have been living with. So this is where I feel like you can really step into something new that sparks your passion, which feels really, really nice. But it is understanding that it's a transition and it's kind of a weird energy between fast and slow, because the Death card and the Moon card are slow energies. These are all super fast. And so it's like sort of like events happen, insights happen, revelations happen, and then it's a matter of going through this big shift and change and transition that occurs here. So the Moon card with the Death card can also feel like you're going through a passage of time that feels like it's like you know you have to go down this path, but there's fog and you can't necessarily see the end of the tunnel, but you know you need to go through this. So it's kind of an interesting energy, because I feel like what I'm getting with this, Virgo, is you're kind of understanding why you've agreed to things and understanding that you agreed to it, even though it felt like you didn't have a choice. And so letting go of some conditioning here, some conditioning. Maybe it's like a people pleasing kind of thing, or trying to, however it's coming in, trying to please other people or serve other people. There's something that's being deconditioned here, and it's a big process, and it's all to do with what you know. Now you know it, you can't not know it. And so now you know it, everything shifts and changes. So yeah, interesting energy. And so I actually feel this is good. It is a cycle, and it might take a month to even kind of get out the other side of this, is kind of what I'm getting with this. But ultimately what you're going to end up with is a totally new experience that's coming through that could get you really excited about things. Could find yourself trying out new things, trying out new experiences, trying out new skills, trying out a new relationship. So there's a sense that this is something that you kind of are looking at that maybe you haven't looked at before, something new that you want here that's coming through. And so I feel like, yes, there's a desire to be doing this, but there's a lack of experience with this as well. So whether this is just you haven't connected with this person before or haven't stepped into this newness, it all feels very, very, very new. So I think you're going to actually be really happy with it. That's the thing. I think that it's going to start getting you a bit excited about some things, which is really nice. And I feel like it's a good level, because even though this is all very strong energy, when the fog clears, you're left holding this wand going, okay, this needs developing. This is starting off small, but definitely could move into and grow into something big. It's not too big and scary when I actually look at it and take those first initial steps. It's actually something that is manageable, and I can see that it could bring some growth into my world, and it could feel really good. So yeah, it's well, there's a lot happening for you here, Virgo. So, and the moon card is the card of the major arcana for Pisces here. So transformation of that energy, which can be to do with those Pisces themes of love, compassion, creativity, mysticism. So it's the spiritual mind versus the critical mind, and seeing things perhaps in a slightly different light. It's spirit, not body, and it's something fairly intangible, but at the end you kind of feel like you've got something that you've got tangible, you've got to hold your hands on. So yeah, fascinating reading coming in for you, Virgo. Fascinating. So this could come in so many different forms. Like it really could be anything related to anything. So definitely has got a lot of relationship energy coming through with it. But yeah, this is just something new that you're trying to get another card coming in for you, and it's not coming. So I'm going to split the deck. We have freedom is my divine right. Beautiful. I am free to think wonderful thoughts. I move beyond past limitations into freedom. I am now becoming all that I am created to be. Wow. Okay. So it really is, it's like what I'm being shown is that it's like you've got a meeting with your spirit. And it's a part of you haven't met before. And I'm just seeing this kind of conversation that's occurring, which is, yeah, really fascinating and interesting. So let's see what else Virgo needs to know. We've got a little pray to the angels. Pray to the angels for help going through this passage. Pray to the angels. Believe in your spirit guides. Connect to those guides. Yeah, don't be afraid to ask for help if you need it throughout this, because some of this can be unexpected and even shocking. But I do feel like, you know, whenever the Tower card comes in, wherever you land, I think is going to be okay, but it is going to be a passage. And so, yeah, the little angels are around you, watching you and praying for you here. So it's actually a really, really nice energy. And again, it's the divine spirit coming in and connecting and receiving those sort of messages. And it's saying, talk to me because I'm listening. And I want to hear, I want to connect, I want to have that conversation that we've never had, or you haven't met that side of each other yet. The human part of you, the body part of you, the very logical brain part of you, versus the spirit side of you, the intangible side, the mysticism. So those two are having a very interesting conversation here, and I think it's going to be revelatory. So I'm going to take it over to the extended reading now, Virgo, where we're going to see what's coming in the near future with this new energy that's coming through. What's happening with this big transition? What happens when you get to the end of the tunnel and the fog clears? And what is this looking like? This Ace of Wands and the Page of Wands. What is this that's coming through that could turn into something really exciting, something that you could get really passionate about? So we're going to look at the near future and the future beyond and see where it's going, because I do feel like we want to get past this cycle here. And there is a deep transformation of negative cycles in your life around commitments. So that's kind of really interesting to come in as well. And the Hierophant can represent religion. You know, it can represent man-made structures related to what we believe. And so, and this is kind of somehow going beyond that, opening your mind to something else as well, which is kind of fascinating. So could have some very, very amazing experiences with this, Virgo. And yeah, hold on to your prairie rugs because this is an interesting ride. So in the extended reading, I'm going to ask about any other intuitive messages that you need, any clarification, and we're also going to tune into career, money, love, and relationships. So we'll focus in on those three areas and just see where this is all going. So love it if you come over. The link for that is in the description box below, Virgo, and I usually pin the link to the comments as well. But yeah, please like, subscribe, share, leave a comment. Love to hear your comments. And yeah, that lets YouTube know that you appreciate this content and helps with the growth of the channel. So thanks, Virgo, and look forward to seeing you next time.